Okay, for the dispatch to work properly, you have to set the rules for it to guide it. Okay, so you select your zone over here and you add your scores by right clicking and add scores. Okay, and on here you think of this side as where the job is, and you think of this side as where the cars are. And I've already done a few of these. Okay, so we're working with the town centre. Let's show the zones. I've done a few rough zones here. It doesn't really matter. It's only approximately. This is the ferry, where they wait for the ferry to come in, and it's a rank. You can't necessarily get off it once you're on it. Okay, this is your town centre. This is your mid-town, and that's your upper town. And that's your North New Town, and that's your New Town. Okay, so we're going to be working with the town centre. Okay, if a car is in the town centre and the job is in the town centre, it scores 1. Okay, that's the top rank. Okay, any adjacent zones to the town centre, okay, score 2. So the only zone we've got adjacent to it, because I'm not including the rank for the ferry rank at the moment, so the only adjacent zone we've got at the moment is this one, and that's the mid-town. Okay, that scores 2. So town centre, mid-town scores 2. Okay, I'll come to this other column in a minute, and you also need to put the travel times in. So the town centre to town centre, okay, we'll give 3 minutes for that. To mid-town 5 minutes. You don't have to worry about the ferry, I'll come to that later. Perhaps 5 minutes for that, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on your local knowledge. Alright, so remember, job on this side, car on that side. If the job's in town centre, car's in town centre, it scores 1. Any adjacent zone scores 2. So, if the job's in the town centre, do you want it to go from the upper town if there's a car available? I'm going to put 3, okay, and 4, and I'm not going to score North New Town. Now the reason why I've left ferry as 99 means it won't be dispatched. So you've got a car on the ferry, it can't get off it, it's waiting for someone to come off the ferry. Okay, basically it's not going to send someone to the town centre. And that will be the same for all the other zones, I expect, as well. Okay, so we're going to move on to mid-town, which is going to be slightly different. Okay, I'm going to just reset these all to 99. Okay, 99 means they haven't been defined, nothing will go out. So, job in mid-town, car in mid-town scores 1. But this is mid-town here. And you've got 2 adjacent zones. You've got upper town and you've got town centre. Okay, so adjacent zones always score 2. Okay, so we're on mid-town. So you know that the town centre is going to score 2, and so is upper town going to score 2. But you might want to bias one of the other zones. So, for instance, although they're both adjacent zones, you might prefer. Sorry about that, someone beeping my phone. So mid-town is sandwiched between the town centre and the upper town. They're both adjacent zones, but you want to bias any cars that are actually in upper town. To do that, you can see that both adjacent zones score 2, but by making that, you're doing like a secondary sort, and that gives the bias, okay, to the car in upper town. Okay. This IMM column means immediate dispatch. Okay. If the job's in town centre, the car's in town centre, it's always immediately dispatched anyway. So you can tick that if you want to. But if the job was in town centre and the car was in mid-town, okay, if you tick that, it means it won't wait for a car to clear in town centre. It will send it immediately. That's what that means. It's the IMM means immediate. okay, with that ticked off, it will try and wait for a car to clear. Okay, if it thinks it's going to be more than 10 minutes, and that's what this ML, that's the maximum late time. Okay, so if you've got a job in the town centre, okay, and it's you've got a car in Midtown, if that is ticked, it will send it immediately. If it's not, it will only send it if it thinks that the car's clearing in town centre will be over 10 minutes long, and that's what that means. Now come to Upper Town. Upper Town is here, okay, and that is sandwiched. Its adjacent zones are this one, which is North Newtown, and this one, which is Midtown. They're both adjacent zones, okay. So Upper Town, Midtown is an adjacent zone, and so is North Newtown, okay. But which one of these, okay, in Upper Town do you want to bias? So you might think, well, if I've got a job in Upper Town, I much prefer the car in Midtown to have preference, okay? So you just set that to 1. Okay, now if you've got a car in North Newtown, it will get sent, but the car in Midtown will be preference, okay? And you can also set this immediate time here, and don't forget to set the travel times, okay? Upper Town, set it to 5 minutes if you want. Midtown might be 5 minutes as well. North Newtown might be 7. You're not sending anything from the ferry. Town centre might be 7 minutes. Newtown might be 10 minutes. Okay, it's important to set the travel times. Okay, and the Newtown, well, the Newtown is this one here. Okay, so it's kind of way out of our area. So it's only got one adjacent zone, which is this one, which is North Newtown. Okay, so the job in Newtown, car in Newtown scores 1, but there's only one adjacent zone, and that scores 2. Upper Town will score 3, and whether or not you want to send cars from from the town up that way, obviously is up to you. Okay, so this ferry zone here, it's obviously a special zone because the car, let's presume that the car on the rank waiting for the ferry to come in from Portsmouth cannot get off it. Okay, so if a job came, even if it came in just up the road here, okay, you couldn't send it because it's stuck on the rank, as they say. So the ferry rank, car and the ferry rank, you can never get them off. But that's not to say that a job won't come up on that ferry rank, depending on how you set this up. There might be someone waiting here, for instance, okay, and you still can't send a ferry, because he won't be able to find it. So you might have a car at the town centre. You will want to send the car in the town centre to the ferry, okay. You never know. Okay, so the job's in the ferry, cars in the town centre. Okay, it's immediately dispatched. Scores. I'm going to put that down as scores 2 actually, because it is an adjacent zone. Okay, so and I'm going to set those to 99. I believe that's correct. Yeah. So the job's on the ferry. Oops, I've done that wrong. In fact, that's more like it, I think. So the excuse me, the job's on the ferry, cars in the town centre. It will go to the towns. It will go to the ferry. Okay, it's immediately dispatched. And also, if the job's on the ferry, you might send someone from the Midtown. Okay, you never send someone from the rank. Okay, depending on how you want to set it up. Okay. Remember, this ML comment is maximum late time. So when a car's POB and it's moving towards that zone for a job, if it gets delayed, okay, and it's running late, the dispatch won't hold on for it forever. It will send. This is the maximum late time for jobs that go out of town, like in North Town. You can set this a bit higher, because it's not really your zone you're waiting for, they might have to have a bit more leeway with the times. You can set that a bit higher. Okay, but that's what this ML is. It's maximum late time, and it's waiting for POB cars. But POB cars can be notoriously unstable, and they can get stuck in temporary traffic lights, or you can't get to where they want to go, or Mrs. Smith leaves her purse behind. So if the dispatch thinks it's going to be running more than 10 minutes late, it will send a car, okay, from the adjacent zones, or basically the adjacent zones. So you're waiting for Mrs. Smith is waiting in the town centre. The car goes over 10 minutes late. Okay, it's not going to wait. It's going to send someone from the town. It's going to send someone from Midtown. Okay, I've just clicked that now. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. A little bit complicated, but once you muck about with it for a half an hour, for an hour, hopefully it all makes sense. Right, now also every area has its core area and its out of town area, etc., and out of area. It's important to set these up. Ferry, okay, these are all in your main core area, okay, but Newtown may not be a core area, so make sure you set that. It has different rules on the dispatch, okay, for areas that aren't in your core area, so make sure you just set those. Anything that's not your core area, just make sure it's not core. Now if I just make a new zone here, okay, and that might be somewhere way out of area, but it might be somewhere you go to. It might be somewhere with a hospital. We call it QA, and that is not your core area, but it's also out of area. Okay, OOA, out of area, has slightly different rules for the dispatch.